Number one, why did you decide to get proximate to this issue? I decided to focus on the school to prison pipeline because I've had the most experience with this issue in my personal life. Starting at around the age of 3, I was affected by this pipeline as my father was imprisoned for something he claims he didn't do. This ultimately led to me being raised by a single mother. Then, as I grew up, I saw my friends who had single mothers indoctrinated into the juvenile system and ultimately jailed. Um, in grade school, I received all kinds of grade behavioral issues, consequences, and looking back, these consequences normalized jail and the justice system. Um, since I already had a lot of background knowledge and experience related to juvenile justice, I thought it would be an easier choice than something I wasn't so close to. Further, I thought having prior knowledge would allow me to get deeper into the subject than I had before. I also want to be involved in stopping the pipeline, so this was a great chance for me to begin getting informed about this issue. Number two, what about this issue made you uncomfortable? Things that made me uncomfortable was knowing that the school to prison pipeline is affecting black and brown people at such a disproportionate rate. Also, it was uncomfortable in the courtroom for me because I felt like I was kind of meddling in on people's private business and private issues. And also, I felt like I was, even though I'm not really a privileged person, I felt like I was coming in from a privileged position just by the context of why I was there. How does power relate to the site meeting? Number three, how does power relate to the site/meeting you visited? From my experience, power related in many ways. Simply put, the big systems in America are usually ran by old white men. Um, so um, the lawyer that I interviewed kind of attributed the reason for the disproportionate numbers of black and brown students being put into the system was that black and brown males are the opposite of old white males, and it's kind of like if there's going to be someone take benefiting from the system, there also has to be someone who's losing in it, and it happens to be the opposite of the people that are running things. What article, videos that we read or watched in class support or contradict your experience with this project? We read Confections of Apartheid, which talked about how schools are still segregated and there's hidden curriculums in these schools, and these curriculums could be related to the school to prison pipeline. People are getting, or kids are getting normalized, or it's getting normalized for kids to be having encounters with law enforcement and so on. Another thing is from the achievement gap to the education debt, understanding the achievements in the U.S. schools by Gloria Ladson Billings. She talks about the achievement gap, and she talks about how resources are given disproportionately to more to schools that have more white students, and this is just another part of the oppression that black and brown students get. You got the prison pipeline, and on top of that, they're not getting the same resources, so it's all kind of set up against them. Poor black and brown students, that is. Also, the documentary 13th is about the 13th Amendment, which has a clause in it that allows slavery if you were considered to be a criminal. I believe this is the reason why our school system seems to push students into the jail cell. The end goal is to keep black and brown people enslaved.